I was on, I think it was NHL.com, and they're starting to do fantasy stuff. And we had the whole conversation about MacKinnon versus McDavid. It's happening in baseball right now with Mookie Betts versus Mike Trout, right? And recency bias is Mookie's the best, and then people are like, nah, actually, Trout's better. Mookie's more entertaining. Mookie's more fun.
Well,
but
Trout
Trout's
gets
better.
like overlooked because he's never in the playoffs. It's like
Exactly.
who's ever the best player in the playoffs is like the best player in the game now.
But I think that happened with MacKinnon and McDavid. Like McKinnon's a great player, great player. But I believe McDavid's better, and I believed it when MacKinnon was still playing and McDavid wasn't. And I saw on fantasy, and this is a completely different analysis because it's fantasy, but some guys is predicting MacKinnon will have more points than McDavid, and I'm like, there's no way. Like I just don't see it. If they both play the same amount of games, McDavid is the smart pick for points. You can say size, MacKinnon's bigger, maybe he's better defensively for sure. I'll give you that. Points, let's not get crazy. Like McDavid's the man, and he should be.
I can't take that. Like I can't. I love watching Nate MacKinnon, but I can't take MacKinnon. I would take MacKinnon third behind McDavid and Draisaitl right now.
Right, in points.
Draisaitl's on the ice with him all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
And Draisaitl's got the skills that he has. The guy got 120 points this year, didn't he? Or 110 points.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, man, I don't know. I remember there was a time, like, who do you think's better, Messier or Gretzky? And you're like, oh, really?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
I mean, we love Mess, but let's not get stupid here.
But let's not be, like, and I feel, I mean, it's almost the same thing. Like the power, might push people to pick MacKinnon over McDavid, but not for me anyway.
No, not with points. I mean, again, McDavid's got to complete his game, round out his game. There are things that he's got to get better at. I mean, there's no disputing that, and he's never going to be 6'5",
Bryan, for fantasy points, even if he doesn't round off his game, I'm still taking him.
Exactly.
Well, it's the word points, fantasy, like points. It's and Ray, you're right. Like Draisaitl had 110 points in 70 games this year. Like he would have had 120 if he got to 82.
Yeah, maybe more.
Like there may be more, but like you're right. Like if it's just flat out points, like Edmonton had, I believe, the number one power play in the National Hockey League. If they didn't, they were right
top
there.
Top three like all year.
Right. If they weren't, like you're getting points through osmosis. Like and I
think it's the it thing to do, Noodles, is overthink it, and and I guess listen, it's not like you're saying that
Freddie the GOAT.
Yeah, exactly. Someone further down the line, like Ryan Strome, is going to lead the league in points or something. Like McKinnon's. Right. MacKinnon is number 2 for me in terms of the best players in the world.
And it's not that I'm sure you watched it, Brian. He was next level in the playoffs.
Right.
That's why I picked him on that.
Well, on
for
our
the
TSN?
free agent frenzy pick, I picked him at number 1 because I'm like, I don't know if there's anything better than this right now.
And you weren't alone, Oak, because he got the number 1 consensus pick. Like 20 of us voted or whatever, and I guess at least 11 had MacKinnon at number 1.
Yeah.
So I hear it.
But
I get it. But with points, I mean, it's gross what
McDavid's
going to keep doing.
Bias. It's recency bias.
I know, Jamie, but I'm not Bobby Mack where I do a coaches poll, but I talked to a bunch of coaches, and they're like, they would take MacKinnon. And their other second pick was Hedman. They're like, just the power game and the total package. That's how I would.
Well, you can stick me. Oh, you can stick me with McDavid. Then I'll be fine.
Yep, me too.
Like to your talking to the coaches, like. They all have their reasons for sure, but if you're saying, you can't have these guys, and I'm going to give you McDavid, I'll start my team just fine there.
Oh, no question. I mean, no question.
Yep.
And there is, just like Brian said, it was because the spotlight was on him, and it was just ingrained in yourself. You're like, oh my God, this is like he was making plays and skating and shooting the puck where you're like, this is basically McDavid-like. It's better. It's powerful. Game. Yeah, it's incredible. Yeah. So whatever it is, I don't think the difference is too great, whichever way you want to go.